Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be building in the Hyte Revolt 3. But first, I'm going to do basically a case change. And, I got to take some of these parts out. So, I need some of this stuff here. I like to reuse the stuff because I don't want to buy new components because obviously it's going to cost money. So take out some of these parts. Alright, so I'm going to take these two fans out. That's my first step. Basically, a lot of unscrewing to do, essentially. It's not a lot of fun, to be honest, but sometimes you get pretty good at this stuff. Do this in your sleep. Taking these two fans out. I'm going to use this on the side panel of the Hyte Revolt 3. Got my fans on. Now I'm going to take out the power supply. Revolt. Power supply is just basically 4 screws. I'll put this over here, So, so now for the SFX power supply, it's one of the smallest power supplies compared to the XFXL and the ATX power supply. This one's obviously a lot smaller. And honestly, you ever have a choice and you have like an FSX and an SFXL, which is a little bit, about 35% bigger, always go for the SFX because even though most of the mini Hytex cases do fit SFXL, it limits your space a lot. So if you have an SFX versus FXXL and there's like a $30 premium for the SFX, go with the SFX. Is always a better investment because it's a lot smaller and you're not limiting yourself. There are some cases that will take SFXL, but depending on the cables, it may actually not even fit the case. So something to keep in mind. Alright. So the FSX taken out. Just put the screws over here. So actually got 2 of these cases because I wanted a mesh panel. So I ended up buying the whole mesh, the air version, so it get mixed up with glass. And so I don't really, kind of realized I don't need 2 cases anymore. So getting rid of this one. Hit me in the comments if you're in Toronto and you like to purchase this. That's even $100. The case is like new. Oops, wrong way. Too much new. I'm gonna end up putting this in my garage because, to be honest, I have like 4 or 5 cases in the garage. I have so many cases. Like, I love building so much, the collection of cases that I'm not using anymore. And yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to have like a room, storage room, specifically for cases in the future. I'm not sure. And here's my Mushroom D. I'm gonna take it apart as well. Guess it was fun building in it somewhat. Taking it apart. I'm gonna take this off first. yeah, if you're ever going to build in a mushroom D case, use an FSX power supply. Don't use an ATX power supply. Because, again, this is a perfect example of how it limits space. It is very limiting. Space by something. So, in any of these like smaller cases, you're always going to run into a problem. Like if you use the bigger component that it allows up to the maximum, and you always use that maximum space, you're going to run into an issue of limiting yourself with a lot. I think one of my viewers mentioned that he switched to an FSX so he can put a 120mm in the front. That was an example of how you don't want to use an ATX power supply because you really limit yourself. So, this is now take the power supply out. Excuse me, take the GPU off next. Just cautionary thing that I noticed. That sometimes I misspoke, and I do apologize. My videos, like yesterday when I did a video on Mushroom D fitting the PCI cable, I said, or actually my PlayStation 5, I said it doesn't come with a hard drive, a separate hard drive. What I meant to say was a separate DVD drive, right? A disk drive, I meant, not hard drive. So anyway, that one's perfect, right? Okay, I'm just gonna take out this GPU. I'm gonna push against the little knob there to take this out. This is very big. Again, this could fit up to. See, yeah, I can't take this out. Look at this. This is crazy. Oh, there we go. It's so big. You put the maximum size in there, it just got no space left for anything, including the PCI cables. So it was a challenge. Anyways, got the GPU case on. GPU, I mean. Let's put this up in my Frantics later. Now, oh shit. I didn't really want to take this ATX out because I'm too lazy, but I don't have a choice, so. This fan too. This fan is connecting. Okay, I can't even see underneath that, so what I'm going to do is I have to take this power supply out, so I'll do that right now. This case is good for taking things apart because it does have 360 access pretty much, so just be gentle with everything you do. Disassembling something. I noticed that it should come up fairly easily. You don't need to use force. If you're using force, something is wrong. So just something to be mindful of. Okay, let's see. Take this off. It's just before I take out the power supply, I do want to disconnect the cables if I can. Yeah, it's a hot mess. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to take the power supply out. To me now. This one and these two. Do it for screws. Yeah, this ATEX power supply is like a third of this case. So. Alright, so let me finish taking this out. I like this power supply. This is very good. Platinum. Probably the only regret I have is I didn't get the 1000 watts. I got the 850, but 1000 watts was like $350 or something. Got the power supply out. I'm going to start unplugging everything. Again, just be gentle. Don't need to use force. That should be everything. Don't need to use force. Okay. Oh shit, look at that. That is power supply thing. Yeah, just be careful, okay? Because I could have just ripped this apart if I pulled that out really hard. This is the power switch cable, and that would have been a disaster. So, I mean, for the case anyways, it would have been pretty much finished. So, all these cables are tangled. Again, when you use an ATEX power supply, you have all these cables that are tangled because ATEX power supply uses extra long cables. So that's another reason why you shouldn't use an ATEX power supply, because you use a lot of these extra space. You lose a lot of space for that reason, right? So this is for the This is for the RGB connection. This is a 3-pin for this RGB here. Right here, RGB. So you have to connect this to the motherboard connections if you want to get RGB onto this. And you can control this with any motherboard. It doesn't have to be Asus. Okay. So I got the power supply out. I'm just gonna put it away. So in case I need it for another build, I'll know where to access it. I'm just gonna throw this under here. storage there. Okay. Now I can take this fan out. See, doesn't have to be much force. Here's. Close this up. These are good RGB Arctic fans, actually, but kind of expensive. Alright. Now I'm going to take out the motherboard. Let's do this. Oh, okay, that's one. This one doesn't want to come out. It's two. Do you want to come out? The screw doesn't want to come out. There, see? Very gently. Apparently, use force, I could have broken something, but I had 3 screws in here actually, so it was weird. I think I did 3 screws. Oh, look at the antennae, see? Pull that out, could have broke something, so just be gentle. Just take these antennae out. Alright, now I'm going to take this out. This is an ASRock 8X570. Oh, there's one more fan cable. Alright, put this here. Right. Okay. The Mushroom D has this like flimsy, very flimsy, call it filter here. Your filter. If that just made mesh holes in the bottom, I think mesh holes would have been better because it's very flimsy. In case you're watching, Leon Lee, there should be completely meshed in the bottom there. Shouldn't be filtered on that. Or even if there was a filter, at least there should be some holes in it just to support this filter because it's very weak in the bottom. That's just me anyways. Alright. And then one thing I do like to do is I ordered the expansion for this by the way, and it hasn't arrived yet, but I might use it for another build for a micro case because the expansion in the bottom lets you add a micro case. It's actually a lot more room. And for this, I like to just put it back the way it should be. I'm not sure how to do this. Oh, maybe it's this way. Same thing that way. It's this way. Yep, it's this way. That's the reason why I like to put it back the way it was like when you bought it, because then you're not gonna lose it, and you won't remember where this piece is. You know, when if you check for it like 6 months from now. So just it's a good idea to put it back. It's the same screws. Wow, the holes are like perfect for this. It's supposed to be perfect, but make sure you use the same screws, of course. They're meant for that. I'm gonna use different screws because I'm gonna run into problems. I'm not meant to be. What's good about version 2 is the mesh room, the very first one, side wasn't symmetric, so you have to check to make sure you're not putting it in. But this time they made it all symmetric, which is good. Just snap them on, you don't need to look. And put this back as well. Give it some substance. The reason why you should put it back the same way, because you don't lose the screws that are meant for that. You're not going to remember what screw it was supposed to be for. Like 6 months from now, if you ever go back to this case. So just put it back the way you found it, the way when you purchased it. So it's a good idea. Whatever. That's done. That's done. Let's put this one top here. Okay, that's done. Also put it back into the original box if you can. So let's just that way. So flimsy. Okay, that's done. Okay, grab another case and be right back. Here it is. Hyte Revolt. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at the shipping. It's dusty. It's a lot of dust. Just a little anal dust. That's a lot. Whew. So this is the white case. Good on Amazon.ca. You can also get this on .com. Instruction manual. Instruction manual. Okay. And top of the case. Okay. Oh, there's a handle on top. Just wait a second. Oh, this thing's heavy, eh? Whoa. This thing's made of steel. And look at that. The handle's already coming handy. The irony of this thing is like 15 pounds, man. 18 pounds, actually. Yeah, something like 18 pounds. When it's pretty heavy, man. It looks like light, but it's actually heavy. Very heavy case. It is what it is. Just go put this away. Be right back. yeah, this case is actually a lot bigger than the Fantic Shift 2 Evolve. It's actually fatter. Anyways, alright. So all the parts that I took out, I'm going to try to, from the other computers, I'm going to try to put in. I heard that this is toolless, so should be able to snap off. Let's see if I know what I'm doing without looking at the manual. This maybe snaps off. Yeah, you really should read the manual. I heard this is toolless, so let's see what I can do. Pop this off maybe. Oh, see? Pops off. Take this off. Oh, look at that. Nice and light. It's like the Mushroom D. Or delicious. So I'm assuming you're going to take all these sides. Actually, this side doesn't come off. Look at that. Or it does, just in a different way. I think it snaps off a little bit different, so I won't touch that. Okay, here's the box of screws. I usually don't like to use this per se, because I don't know what's in here. Let's see what's in here. Probably screws. You know what? Fuck it. Okay, wow. First glance, looks pretty nice. Feels premium, solid. All right, so I'm gonna put the power supply in first. I'm assuming it's gonna be like probably like this. Yeah. I don't know where I'm gonna put these cables. Assuming the cable is coming through here. Usually, when you build in general, usually it's the power supply that comes first. In general, the power supply is what needs to go in first. But put it in a different way. You should technically have a game plan. Because see, if I had an FSXL in this thing here, it would be really tight, right? This is an FSX, so you want to put in like the smallest component you can fit in there, and not think of like the largest component, because that's usually the wrong way of thinking of it. I'm pulling all these cables this way. I think it's the right way. It's always good to watch a quick video like this one of a game plan, because it usually gives you an idea before you build, and not do like me. Okay, so you usually know, because if you look here, right, it's the 4 screws that lines up perfectly, so you know it has to be that way, because and then you got to think also that this fan's going to be intake, and then it's going to exhaust to the side panel here. Just make much sense to me, because this is the panel, I'm assuming. Yeah, this is the panel where the fans are going to go, right? So you're going to do intake here, and then you're doing intake here, intake this way. So you're like, I guess that's okay, because just keep in mind that it's going to be fighting against each other for air, right? So let's see if I can flip this around the other way. Flip it this way. Yeah, it's really tight. Right, so I was able to flip it around and the 4 screws still line up, right? And this way, if you're doing intake, this is also intake, right? Sorry, camera's this way. So you do intake, the 2 fans here. This will also intake and then will exhaust to the side here. So this way the air, both of the air is going in this direction. You want to do it this way because you don't want air to be fighting against each other because it's going to cause turbulence. So it's better to do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to screw the power supply in now. It's pretty tight here. But I hope that's going to work. I don't know how this is going to fit to the motherboard. Actually, it does. Looks like it's going to fit perfect. Alright, so let me just screw this in. So, if you haven't watched one of my other videos on intake or exhaust, maybe you should watch that one. Just go to my channel and check that out because I explain the difference there. But essentially, if you have 2 fans facing each other, it's going to be somewhat fighting for air. So you want to keep the current in the same direction so the air is not fighting with each other in the case, because if it is, it's going to make more noise for turbulence. I don't think anyone's ever told you that, but you will see a difference if you keep both. The fans are facing the same way, like one fan here, one fan here. You want to keep it facing the same direction so it doesn't create turbulence. I'm going to turn off the power here, plug this in. So that's in. Alright. So the next thing I'm going to do, typically with cases, it's going to tell you, I know the GPU is always last, interestingly enough. I'm going to put the motherboard in. And I'm almost done basically, right? The only way I can put the motherboard in is to open this fan case door. And I did watch a couple of videos. Didn't remember by heart, but I did watch a couple of videos. So somewhat have an idea of what I'm doing here. But also, building a lot of computers, you begin to create this PC sense. And this, okay. Take this. I believe this is what it is. I thought this thing opens. Apparently not. Okay. This can actually break, so you want to be. Don't want to use too much pressure again. But in any case, you don't need to put pressure. It should all line up nicely. Just saying. Oh, it is a door, so it is open. Alright, so I'm going to put the motherboard in. It looks like it's going to go over here. So this is where the faceplate is, so... Alright, so that goes in nicely. And just gonna get the screws in there. Screwing it in, and it's going in nicely, so I know. Con đang quay phim. Được, để đi. Mày hết đi.
Lên chơi có ai chở không?
Mày hết đi, sao đâu, đóng cửa lại thôi.
Đâu?
Con không biết. Alright, and just need one more screw. It's actually going in pretty nicely. That's the thing with the cases, right? When you have a good case, everything should be perfect. You should have to use force, it just goes in nicely. So usually it's the power supply first, which I did, and now it's the motherboard. And just go 99%. Never do more than 99%. Reach the end. I realize you don't see that there, so I'm just going to share this video there. So I just put the motherboard in. It fits in nicely in the back pad there. This is the swinging door. The fans. This fan is intake here from the power supply. So I'm going to install 2 fans that I took out earlier to go through this way. But before I do this, I'm going to plug all these power supply cables. And it actually fits perfectly because this is where the power supply, I don't know if you can see that, but it actually just goes right in on top there. So that works out perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. Right. Power supply cable. This is the CPU. Okay. So this gives you a 360 access, which is nice. Pin. 8-pin CPU because of overclocking. There's always an extra 4-pin, but if you have a 4-pin cable and an 8-pin motherboard connection, the 4-pin will work. I've done it on my other videos as well. It works just fine. This is the PCI cable, and I need to route this. Okay, so this power supply cable is actually millimeters of distance from this, so they did make it to fit snugly. I think it's actually probably, I'm just going to pop this in. There we go, just hear the click. Yeah, it's literally millimeters of distance there. And this is the PCI cable for the GPU. Okay, so that's that. So right now I just need to plug in my GPU and the power cable. Should be a power cable somewhere here. Hiding in the bottom here, I'm guessing. USB-C. Interesting, yeah, it's all near the bottom here. Okay, so let me just level this. So here's the cables in the bottom. USB-C is an interesting one. For this front one, you actually have to stick it in the back of the motherboard, which is quite interesting. It's right here. So it's more of an extension than anything. Okay, and the front panel is just one whole cable, so you just have to stick that in the right way. There's the audio jack and USB 3. So let me just stick it through this hole here. They actually made a hole for it so you can pull these cables out. Right, so just plug this in. I don't even know where it is now. It's all the way over here. Wow, it's very. This cable is very tight. In fact, and again, it's in millimeters. So I don't know if I can get this in. It's very tight. I'm doing a video, man. Go ahead. Okay. Alright, so that's in. Okay, so I'm gonna do my. It's actually touching my CPU fan, so I'm gonna reroute this power CPU cable underneath the power supply here. So that ensures that it won't touch the CPU fan. In case it does. Yeah, that's a better job there. So you have to. Back in. Right, that's in. Then audio cables next. It has a little holder that goes up here. You go upstairs, Maya? I'm doing a video, please. Thanks. Maya, I'm recording. Just go upstairs, Maya. Maya. Turn it off. I can't focus. Go. Go upstairs. Thank you. Yeah, this is like really tight. It's like just perfectly in terms of millimeters. So when Hyte built this, they must have like really thought about this, because it's like really in terms of millimeters. Like this is the front panel, so this is gonna be important. They don't give you too much. The cables don't have too much leverage. It's like just perfect. So now I have to stick this to the front panel. And honestly, I don't know where it is. I think it's. Let's see if I can see this. Okay, you just have to line up the pins. Jesus Christ, I think this is it. least possibility left. Okay. Okay, and then we just. Okay, alright, so I plugged everything in. And I usually like to touch my. Yeah, so these cables are like just enough. I must have thought about this, to be honest. HD audio is usually on the PCI side, so they only gave you like millimeters of length. Yeah, it's pretty tight. Alright. Now, alright, I'm gonna install fans next. And you can see this is the exit point, is the X here. Or the helicopter. Just think of this like the top of the helicopter, so this is the bottom. And if you can flip it, you can also feel air is coming through this hand and off this hand. Not the right, it's come through the left, so you know that's where the intake is. So something to be aware of. And maybe it's just like this. Okay. Yeah, so it's like this. Right. So let me just install these. And for fans, I usually just like to do 2 screws, like one on the diagonally, one on the right, one on top right, and the one bottom left. Because if there's a problem, I can always change it up after. I don't have to take away 4 screws, so I just like to do 2 screws. So that's that. So that's one fan. This door is a little bit flimsy, to be honest. Wow, alright. Right, and then I'm going to do the one across. And alright, so this is like I like my other videos, I like this kind because I can daisy chain it. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to daisy chain these fan with the fans. Right, so this goes into the fan here. Usually when you want a daisy chain, you obviously want to use the same kind of fans, because then when you should be able to control one fan controller. This is it, and this is the fan connector, just connecting the fan connector in there. when you connect it, you should just have it aligned, because you don't want to use force. You shouldn't have to, and you can break something. So once I had it aligned, it was just a quick nudge, and that was it. All right, so just need to get this in here. Get this in here. Okay, and then I just need to plug this in. This one into the RGB. This is very flimsy, to be honest with you. Quick check. Okay, so that's RGB connectors on. Just do a quick check. Okay, and alright, so that's that. Gonna put in the power supply now. For the GPU now. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so just need to put the GPU in and I'm done, right? You can also fit a fan on top here, an 80mm fan. There's exhaust. I'm assuming in here somewhere. Not sure, to be honest. But I'll figure that out. Oh, also gonna install the 10 ice. Here's my GPU. Stick this in. So let me just show you what I have so far. So install the fans. It's not touching anything. And this is not touching anything. The cable management is pretty awful, but it's inside. You won't be able to see anything anyway, so it shouldn't matter. Right, so let's see here. You just need to put this. It's a 2.5 slot card. Whoa, it's actually very tight. Kind of doesn't fit. It said the maximum is 335. But this is like, okay, I have to angle it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, to be honest. Should go like this. Because of this pointy thing here, it's causing issues of getting it in. Just have to handle it. So yeah, it's very tight. Alright. Okay, I have an idea. I think I have to take. Okay, let me just close this door off so it's not moving up and down. do 2 pins. Should be good enough. Boom. Okay. Alright, so I have to open this top part here. That's create some space. No, I'm doing a video. I'm not done yet. After. No, not now. Later. So, not now. Later. So I think, like, to take this top part off, I have to, remove these 4 screws, I think. Again, I haven't read the manual. I should have read the manual, so I'll just take this out. Okay, let's see if that did the trick here. Yeah, that's it. It actually comes out fairly easy. And these 4 pins here, 4 screws. So, and it actually comes with a filter as well. All right. Okay. So the reason why I did that is because I could put the pointy graphics card through this way, and it should fit perfectly. And then I shouldn't have an issue putting it in now. All right. So let me install this graphics card. It's huge. You know. So it should just go. Oh smokes! See that? I need this door open because there's no space. So now I open this. I only did 2 screws. Good thing I only did 2 screws. So it's a 6800 trio, so I should be able to just push this through this way, like that, through that hole on the top there. See what I did? Like that, and I should be able to slowly put it down. And this is a heavy part. I'm not losing grip, to be honest. Alright, let's see if I can look at this. So I got it in, I just need to angle it to the hole now. Look at that. Yeah, I'm just going to drop it now. Oh, it's really tight. Yeah, it's weird because this HD cable, HD audio cable is in the way. So, oh, I see. This HD cable is actually sticking out, so it looks like I have to put it through this. No, I don't even know how I'm going to install this because it's just so tight. It looks like it's in now, so I'm just going to put it down this way. audio cable's on the way. Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, to be honest, maybe something isn't right. I'm gonna take this out. That's right, man. Actually, one in looks like. Okay. Oh my God, this thing's tight. Yeah, I don't know. It's just very tight. Looks like it's in. Let's see, I don't know. I'm just gonna screw it in. I think it's in. I think the weight on the card just pushed it in itself. I don't know. Just seems like it's in. Anyway. Okay. Right. Just a PCI cable. Just gonna plug this one in. Yeah, I think when I dropped it, it just kind of it's one on top of the HD audio, and just kind of snapped on. To be honest, I'm not sure if it's in, but it feels tight enough now. I'm just gonna plug this in. I might need an adapter because this looks like this cable is sticking out again. Oh. under here. Okay, there's some space here, so I just tuck that in there. Okay. Just glue everything back in. I don't know what this is for. I think it's just this. Let me see. Set this. Oh, like that. Yes. Okay, that. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it first. Okay. Oh. Okay. All right. Almost here. All right. Let me just do this. So, back. All right. So let me just stick this back in. Right. We have it. So everything's. Okay. Right. Just put this one back on top. Wait. Still these four. So yeah, it's a nice case. Don't really have any complaints. So this is intake, and then this is also intake, the power supply here. That's gonna exhaust out on the side, and there's mesh holes here, so that's fighting against the current, which is good. This one should be symmetrical. Interesting. It's not putting a hole. This way I need to push. Just need to make sure this is the right one. You can tell because of this hole here. Alright. Oops, actually. It's easy to come off. Too less. Yeah, this thing is like made of steel, and it's like freaking. It's like 15 pounds. Kind of like It's kind of like a bag of rice, if you want to give an idea. It's pretty heavy. It's not really portable. Probably take a backpack or something, large backpack, but it's quite heavy. I would not recommend traveling with this. Okay, it's done. Alright, let's. And this is wrong because it doesn't fit the hole. Okay, alright. Let me plug this baby in. And this is the power supply. Oh, I forgot to turn the power on. Okay. Let's see what luckily for me, it's just 360. Actually, it is on. Turn it off. Turn it on right here. Okay. Okay. Let's plug this baby in. Yeah, it's like 20 pounds. 18 pounds to be exact. Okay. Let me just put this on my desk. Just take this off. Okay. So I plugged it in, and whenever you plug something in and you see the RGB lights turning on, then you know you plugged it in correctly and the power supply's in. Just a little tip of advice. The back of this steel case, I'm not sure you can see that, but that's where the HDMI cable, but the power cable's there. So it keeps the cables nice and neat back there. Alright, so just need to turn this on, but let me just move these screws over here. I need my keyboard, but it looks very promising. Yeah, it's a nice case. I like it. I think black would have been a lot nicer. But this is the USB 3.0 in the back that I plugged into the motherboard, so these should work. And if not, then I know it's a problem. But they also have a USB-C, the auto jack that's underneath the GPU. Just turn this baby on. Let's see. Okay, it's nice and bright. That button is bright. Okay. And it's on. And actually, I'll just put this over a little bit. Oh, I think this case is heavy, man. Alright, so those are the two 120mm fans that I installed earlier. And you can feel the air coming through there. Alright. Here's my GPU. RGB. So that's kind of nice, to be honest. Let me just put it this way. You can see it that way. Okay. And wow.